Sonya here. I'm going to lift this up just a little bit so my head's not chopped off. Coach Sonya here, and we are doing a live today because we had some technical difficulties, technical issues yesterday when I was trying to record it for you guys. So we're also trying a afternoon time or evening time. So hopefully we get some people joining us after a long day of work. I want to thank you guys for showing up today and moving your body with me. We are going to do mobility today. So think dynamic stretching, range of motion, kind of a lower impact exercise, workout. Today's focus, we'll be doing different movements, anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds. Just kind of, again, focusing on that range of motion, what feels good in your body. Listen to your body, don't try to overstretch anything, and just take it at a pace that feels good for you. That being said, we're going to start standing on our mat here, and we're just going to go ahead and get some neck stretches. I have a slight little tilt here that's kind of throwing me off. All right, perfect. And as always, if you have questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the chat, and I will get towards them at the end of the workout. Just want to make sure I'm fully present with you guys while we're doing this, but any important comments or questions, leave them in the comments section below, and we'll answer them at the end of the workout. So again, we'll start standing. We're going to take our left hand, we're going to grab our right wrist, and we're going to pull that hand over to our left side so we have this left arm chicken wing. And from here, we're just going to drop that left ear to the left shoulder and get a nice stretch along the right side of your neck. A couple deep breaths here, in through your nose, out through your mouth. From here, we're going to rotate that neck in the direction so our chin is coming down towards our chest, getting a better stretch here, and then lifting all the way up towards the ceiling. And you can feel free to take some rotations here, again, at a pace that feels good for you. And you should feel that all along that right side of the neck. Otherwise, you can even just hold it stationary here. All right, from there, we're going to switch sides. So we're going to take our right hand, we're going to grab that left wrist, we're going to pull it over so our right arm is in this chicken wing. And we're just going to drop that right ear to the right shoulder. Deep breaths here, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And then feel free to drop your chin towards the chest, looking down towards the ground. And then rotating up towards that ceiling, still keeping that right ear to the right shoulder. All right, let's do some neck rolls here. We're going to go clockwise first. So just coming all the way around, trying to get every little nook and cranny in your neck. Nice, slow, and controlled here. Nothing crazy. We're going to go 5 in one direction. If you've been working, sitting at a table, at your computer, or on your phone, hunched over with your head looking down, this is going to be a really nice release here for you. Let's go the opposite way, counterclockwise next. One more here. We're going to shake it on out. Beautiful. Let's go into cars. We're going to do controlled articular range of motion. So we're going to work on our shoulders first. So cars essentially is going to be you using your own body weight. It's going to be your own resistance. So what it's going to look like initially, you're going to be standing nice and tall. Your right arm is going to be working here. And we're going to come all the way up. And it's nice, slow, controlled movements. Imagine if somebody was pushing down against your arm as you're fighting out against it. You're going to come all the way to the top. We're going to flip the rotation of our hand and then come all the way back down. Try to keep your shoulders squared in front of you the whole entire time and really focus on, again, somebody's pushing down against your arm as you're opening up. And you want to get this as wide as possible, whatever your shoulder mobility is going to allow. For me, on my right side, I have some type of tear in my shoulder. I'm actually going to get it checked out at the physical therapist next week. But like this right here is as far back as I can go. And you'll see on my other side, like I have way more range of motion. Let's flip that direction. We're going to go counterclockwise now. So thumbs towards the ceiling. And again, imagine somebody's pushing down against your arm This should be nice, slow, controlled movements. And when you're coming back down, imagine somebody's on the underside and you're fighting against it all the way down. So controlled articular range of motion. We're just trying to open up that shoulder socket here. We're going to go into one more. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and shake that out. Other side, same thing here. Left arm's going to be completely straight. And again, imagine somebody's pushing out against it, and you're fighting against your own body here. It's going all the way up and then coming all the way back down. You can notice here, in that same particular motion, my left shoulder can open up way more. So that just shows that my left side has greater mobility compared to my right side. Beautiful. Let's flip it. We're going to go clockwise, or sorry, counterclockwise. And again, imagine somebody's pushing out against it. You're fighting against your own body weight here. Nice, slow, controlled. You should start to feel this build up slowly in your shoulders. It shouldn't be extremely easy if you're really fighting against your own body here. All right, relax that out. We're going to take it down to our legs next. If you've been sitting all day, those hips are probably pretty tight just because you're in flexion here, so the muscles here are just contracting the whole time, and your glutes aren't getting any type of movement or activation. So we're going to do the same kind of movement, but with our hips. So we're going to focus on coming up and then around with that leg. Same thing, nice slow control motion. So imagine somebody's pushing your hand against your leg as you're fighting towards pushing it away. And when you get it to about here, you're gonna feel that glute squeeze and then just come all the way back around. Again, a nice full circle. So it's just depending on how your range of motion is how far back and up it can come around. But right about there, you're gonna feel that glute squeeze and then come back around. It's a little hard for me to stand on my balance on a cushioned floor. I should stand on the hardwood floor. Well, not hardwood, but the flat surface floor. All right, let's reverse that. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to stand over here. So we're going to come up and around. Feel free to, if you need to, hold on to something. But again, we're just really trying to open up those hips here. Trying to keep the hips squared the whole time and just really focus on moving the direction with that knee instead of like opening up this way. Try to keep it squared and then focus on the leg doing the movement. All right, let's shake it out. Let's go to the other side. Same thing here. We're going to come up and around. Again, arms down. We're going to press against that leg as if you're pushing against your own body weight. And a nice little squeeze here in the glutes. Let's flip it. These small little micro movements start to add up. I'm already like starting to feel a little bit of a warm sensation here, especially with those glutes. Last one here. Perfect. Let's take it down to the ground. As always, feel free to grab some water if you need it. You gotta stay hydrated. We're gonna get some hamstring and some hip openers next. So I'm gonna have you come down to a plank position. We're gonna go into world's greatest stretch. So you're gonna come into a plank position depending on your strength here and what your, I would say either stay in the plank position on your knees, just make sure your hips are pushed forward so you're still engaging your core, or you can come up into a plank position. All we're going to do is replace our foot with, or replace our hand with the foot, and then open up towards that side, towards the ceiling. Let the hip drop down. You can always keep that bottom knee on the ground as well if you need that modified version. We're going to come back down, switch it out. Right foot comes to the right hand. If you want, hold it here, open up towards the ceiling. Otherwise, you can drop that knee down as well and get a nice little stretch. We're just going to go 5 on each side. for world's greatest stretch. No rush here, just again, focusing on pushing the hips forward, getting that stretch. Halfway there, so the fifth one. Start to get a little bit deeper in that stretch here as you start to slowly open up and warm up here. Tight hips are a common issue amongst a lot of people that I train and see. General population, again, we're sitting a lot of the times, so we're not getting a lot of movement. All right, let's drop that back knee towards the ground. I'm going to keep it with my right foot forward, left knee on the ground. And we're going to focus on shifting back and forth here. So chest up nice and tall for that push. We're going to exhale, the hips back, straighten out that right leg as we get a nice little stretch here in the hamstring. So breath to movement, inhale forward. Get a nice little stretch. Focus on pushing the right knee away from you to get greater into that groin area. Exhale, sink it back, straighten out that leg, bringing your chest close to your quads to get a nice little stretch here. I'm going to go 5 total here, taking it breath to movement, inhale forward, exhale, sink it back. Seeing if we can get a little bit deeper every time we inhale. Every time we exhale. One more here. All right, from here, we're just going to keep that right leg extended. I'm just going to shift towards the front here so you can see. Our left knee is still going to be on the ground, and we're just going to rock back and forth. So inhale forward, exhale, sink it back. Get more of the inner thighs here and a little different area of your hamstrings. Again, taking it breath to movement, inhale forward, release that stretch, exhale, sink it back for that stretch. One more here. See if we can get the deepest we can on this last one. Beautiful. Let's go to the other side, same thing here. We're going to go right knee down, left leg forward. We're going to inhale, chest up nice and tall. Exhale, sink the hips back and get a nice stretch in that left hamstring. Nice gentle movement as we come towards the end of our work week here. It is Thanksgiving this week. I would love to know if you are partaking in this workout. If you are able to, drop in the comments and let me know one thing you're grateful for, whether it's something on your fitness journey, your family, your professional life, this community in itself, which I'm very thankful for, able to move my body with you guys and hold some of you guys accountable and motivated. Last one here. Perfect. We're going to keep that left leg fully extended. We're just going to take it laterally now. Same thing. We're going to inhale forward, exhale, sink that hip back. A nice little stretch here. And you might notice one hamstring is tighter than the other one. Totally normal. Last 2. Right, from there, let's stretch out our shoulders. We're going to keep our knees on the ground here. We're going to go super wide with our hands. And we're going to focus on dipping side to side to get a nice stretch across the chest and the shoulders here. So arms out wide. And then from here, we're going to keep one arm straight as we bend the opposite arm. Try to bring that shoulder close to the ground to get that stretch. Keeping your hip up in the air. Inhale, come up. Exhale, alternate. We're just going to go side to side here. Again, you're gonna feel this stretch across the chest, interior delt, that front part of the shoulder, a little bit in the bicep as well. And as always, you're taking it to wherever your body feels good for you. Don't force anything. If you feel pain, that is not a good sign. Just listen to your body. All right, we're gonna really test your hip mobility and your ankle mobility next. We're gonna go into a deep squat, into an extension. So I'm gonna have you come into a squatted position. Ideally, I would like for you to keep your heels on the ground. If you are coming up onto if you're off your feet, let me try that again. If your heels are elevated, that just means the ankle mobility is a little less than we'd like. So you can either stay with the heels elevated, or if you want to prop yourself up, if you have a chair that you can kind of use, feel free to do that. But we're going to use our elbows to push out against our knees, get a nice little stretch in the groin area. And then from here, I'm going to really test your mobility with how well your hips are going to move. So from in this position, we're just going to rotate one knee towards the ground and then come back up. And again, if you're not able to keep your heels on the ground, you can actually take this all the way down to the ground with your butt on the ground and then just windshield wipe side to side. But if you do have that mobility and you want to stay in that squatted position, keep that chest up nice and tall, and we're just going to drop that knee downward, still trying to keep the ankle and the heel glued to the ground. We're just going to do 5 rotations on each side. One more here. All right, so we're going to stay in this squatted position, but we're just going to extend the hips towards the ceiling. Crown of the head is towards the ground, so you get a nice little stretch in your hamstrings. And then sink it back down. So inhale down, exhale, extend. Really working on these hamstrings here. Last one. Perfect. From there, we're going to hit some Cossack squats, another really good one for your hips. Again, if you have something to help assist you, if you'll need to hold up, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I'm going to recommend not going down all the way. You're going to go as far down as possible until you can lift yourself back up. So for Cossack squats, we're going to go super wide with our stance. Our feet don't move at all. And we're just going to shift side to side here. So you're going to imagine like you're sitting your hips back on a chair and sink side to side. So some of you may only be able to come about here, parallel to the ground, and then come right back up. Totally fine. We're only going to do 5 on each side. But if you really want to test your mobility, I'm going to have you drop down as far as possible again until you still can push yourself all the way up into that standing position. So if you sink all the way down, again, you want to try to keep the heel on the ground. You can rotate that foot so the toes are up towards the ceiling. Get a nice little stretch, and then push yourself all the way back up. Again, it's whatever your body's comfortable with, whatever it's going to allow. See if you can, within the weeks leading, going forward, if you can manage to get a little bit deeper into that Cossack squat. Again, this is very based on your human anatomy and just the range of motion that you're capable of doing. I feel like mobility movements are things that oftentimes get neglected in people's workouts. Usually it's, based on cardio, it's focused on strength training, yoga or Pilates, which is great. Yoga and Pilates is great because it's probably like the closest to a range of motion kind of exercise that you'll get compared to just cardio or strength training. Check that out. But I do think that mobility movement and workouts are definitely underutilized, myself included. All right, let's take it down to the ground. We're going to work on some lower back stuff here next. So we're going to come all the way down on our back. Left leg is going to be fully extended. Now we're going to hug that right knee in here. Big inhale here. And focus on that ankle mobility next. So we're just going to roll out that ankle. Let's go clockwise first. A couple rotations, revolutions. And then counterclockwise. From here, we're going to straighten out that right leg. So depending on your flexibility, you might be able to grab that big toe and straighten out that right leg. You might be pulling behind that calf. You might just grab behind the hamstring, whatever feels good for you. But we are just going to pull that leg towards our face to get a deeper stretch in the hamstring. You can always keep a bend in that knee too if you need it, if it's too tight for you. But again, whatever feels good on your body, take it there. This is going to be more of an active stretch. So deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, we're going to slowly release that leg. We're going to hug that right knee once more into our chest. Big inhale here, and on that exhale, we're going to go cross body with that for a nice little T-spine twist. So we're just going to bring that right knee towards the ground. Right arm is going to come out to a T. And if it feels good for you, you can turn your head to the right. We're going to let gravity work in our favor here. We'll bring our right leg towards that ground. Focus on that breath. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Last deep breath here. All right, let's come back up. We're going to switch out our legs. Right leg goes long. We're going to hug that left knee in. And then we're going to hit some rotations with our foot. So we can roll out that ankle clockwise. And counterclockwise. And try to make as big of circles you can here. Hugging in that left knee to get a stretch in the left hamstring and glutes. Now let's stretch out that left hamstring. So depending on what you did on the right side, whether you grabbed the big toe, if you grabbed behind your calf, if you grabbed behind your hamstring, we're going to do the same thing here. Static hold. All right, let's bring that knee right back in once more. Big inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to go cross body, bringing that knee towards the ground. Left arm out to a T. And if it feels good for you, turn your head to the left. A nice stretch here in that left glute, lower back. All right, last breath here. Perfect. We're going to hug both knees in. Nice little happy baby next. So we're going to grab the outskirts of our feet, hug the knee in, rock side to side here, a little bit of a lower back release as we get into the hamstrings even more. And then from here, I'm gonna have you release your legs long. We're just gonna take about a minute here, really focus on your breath and try to get out of your head and into your body. So arms by your side. Let the feet fall towards the side on the ground here. Have you close your eyes and then again, just focus on your breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna slowly come up out of this. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Nice full body stretch. Hands are gonna come above the head and stretch it on out. We're gonna rock ourselves up to a seated position. All right. How are we feeling? I'm gonna check our messages here. Yes, that's totally normal for one side to be tighter on one side than the other. Your range of motion. Yeah, definitely normal. Amazing. Grateful for family, all of our help. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Amazing. So happy to hear that. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming through today and moving your body with me. Again, 20, 25 minutes is better than nothing, and any kind of movement is better than no movement. So I hope you guys take this mindset, carry it on with you for the rest of the week. Again, Thanksgiving is on Thursday, so take the time, be present with your family, friends, loved ones. If you're still able to, I would highly recommend still moving your body, especially if you normally do exercise on Thursday. Still want to keep those healthy habits in place. Drink a lot of water. Your body's going to need it, and just enjoy yourself. So as always, I will be doing the pre-recorded workouts on Tuesdays going forward. Next Tuesday will be pre-recorded. It'll be a full body circuit, so a little bit faster pace. So feel free to join in at whatever time is convenient for you. And in the meantime, I will see you guys in the Facebook group. Take care and happy Thanksgiving.